Let's see, it's almost 9 o'clock. Welcome. I'm going to give it a few moments. Wait for everyone. I don't know why I sit by this window. It's fucking cold all the time. All right. So I hope everyone is having an amazing week. For any of you that may be watching this even later, um, if you've been following our 7-day manifestation challenge, I did fix the live because the way that it had it was that we were live 24 hours a day for the 7 days. So I did have to change it. Day 3 is tomorrow. Day 1 and 2, everything is up for, and excuse me, the lives are different. So I will go live at 3 p.m. every day. Tomorrow's going to be a little weird because I do have another dental appointment. And so hopefully I'm not like swollen or drooling. But if so, I'll go live without the camera. But I will be live and every day until the 14th. And we will be doing that manifestation activation challenge. So I'm going to stop this. Let's see here. Give me a moment. I want to make sure that I am live through. I'm on the right Zoom here. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that I was live and you could get to me through Goddess University. All that said, welcome, beautifuls. Let's see. I want to get my notes in order here. I don't want to forget nothing. So I'm going to get started in just a second because this is, as promised, going to be it's just a 1 hour course. One, two, three, four, five. And that's the end. What did I do with, don't tell me. Oh, here it is. I have affirmations for you guys, and I wanted to make sure that I have them all, activations and codes. So this is our money codes and wealth frequency activation class, right? And this class is about the vibration of money and attracting wealth and getting the codes activated within your personal frequency and biosphere. So this session is really kind of like a little sacred portal for women who want to move through, or really what's happening with the codes is that we're not moving through or clearing money blocks anymore. We are moving above them, right? We are going to align with your divine wealth blueprint in a short period of time. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you most certainly can. But we're going to activate the frequencies that magnetize wealth with ease and joy and grace and purpose. And so instead of trying to remove all the childhood blocks. So, and I like to use this reference because there's some really shitty people with a lot of childhood trauma and a lot of unresolved emotional and mental issues that have a lot of money. Okay. So you do not have to resolve these things to attract money. You do not have to be love and light to attract money. You don't have to have any of those things. The only thing that you need to attract money is to be on the same frequency. Now, when you have bought into ideas and situations, etc., regarding who you are and your relationship to money, clearing those things and resolving some of those things uh, is excellent. Okay. And it will help you, but it is not the fastest way. And when you can rise above where the chaos and the confusion and the uncertainty and the disillusion and all of those things, when you can rise above it and align with the frequency that you want, all this down here doesn't matter. It doesn't stop you, it doesn't hinder you, none of that. Okay. So I've got my incense going. I didn't bring my bell in here, but I want you, we're going to ground ourselves into our bodies. So we're going to do a very, very brief breath work sequence. And this is box breathing that we're going to do. So you're going to put your hand on your heart, and your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your womb. And you're going to speak your desires out loud. Okay. If you have bought the golden mushroom elixir from Lifeside Apothecary, that's great to use. If you have juniper oil, it's great to put on your third eye. Rub a little bit of that in your hand with some carrier oil. Massage the womb area. You can go back and do these. You can watch this again, and anytime that you sit down with these affirmations um, and do this work, you should use those oils. Okay, so hand on your heart, hand on your womb. And the reason that I say you should use the golden goddess mushroom tincture is that it amplifies your intentions, right? It clarifies your thoughts and allows you to get focused. But right now, the box breath. Okay, so you breathe in and it makes a box essentially. So you're breathing into the count of four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for the count of four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out to the count of four. Hold. Hold at the empty for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Hold. Oh. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you're making that box. And as you're doing this breath to the count of four, I want you to speak your wealth desires out loud. So what this is doing is dropping you in to your body. And while you're here in your body, what are your wealth desires? So if your wealth desires are that I want to make $50,000 a month, my wealth desire is that I want to make $10,000 a month. My wealth desire is that I want to make enough money to where I'm not worried about the basic essentials and I can enjoy life without extensive planning. My wealth desire is that I want to pay off my house or whatever it is, right? So my wealth desire is that I can't make enough money, but I always have more money than I can spend. Speak it and then go back into your breath. So this is always the first stage in manifesting anything is the clarity of what you want and getting what you want. Okay. Asking for what you want. You have to have clarity. and you need to ask for it in writing. Whatever that statement is, you should definitely write down in your notes at this point. So we're going to go into money codes and their transmission. So I'm going to teach you 5 of the divine money codes. And basically the money codes match the frequency of luxury, sacred feminine energy, undeniable magnetism, and each code is basically like an energy current, okay, that you plug into and that you align with, and as you work with them. And if you want to know more about working with the codes, you can pre-order my book that's going to be out later in the month. You can join the Goddess Movement if you are a member already of Goddess University. The Goddess Movement is available to you for free, where I am teaching a different way to utilize the codes every day, and giving you codes, additional codes. And these codes are different than the codes that are there. So you can gather codes from everywhere. If you are not a member of Goddess University, you can get into the Goddess Code movement for just $8. All right. So let's talk about the 5 divine money codes. And the first one is the code of pure receiving. You being in your feminine energy moves you into a receptive mode, right? Because inner feminine energy is about the flow. It is about being receptive. It is about the ease. It is about attraction, not chasing. Okay. And so the pure receiving code, the key words is worthiness and feminine magnetism. So with each one of these codes, I'm going to give you the essence, more so like the affirmation, the key words, the essence, and then the actual code. I'm also going to give you a mantra. And I'll talk about some things that you can do to help you align with this code. So our first code, again, is the code of pure receiving. So the key words for the code of pure receiving is worthiness and feminine magnetism. Those are things that you need to tap into. So if you know that you have a lot of worthiness issues, that you are tuned into, tapped into, right, aware of, then you might want to work through that. And I do have a Healing Your Worthiness Wounds workbook that is beautiful and fucking amazing. All right, so you can do that and help you become more fluid around your worthiness. Feminine magnetism is you being in your feminine energy. If you know that you are not often in your feminine energy, then I don't know if that does better. Oh, that's better, I think. Um, if you know that you're not typically in your feminine energy, um, then you want to practice being in your feminine energy. So instead of, when people say practice getting into the, my boobs always look so big at this angle, and I promise you, like, they're not that big. Okay, so because I'm not that big, but my boobs. Okay, so when people say get in the receptive mode, the way that women get into the receptive mode is to tap into their feminine energy. So you want to tap in to the feminine, to your feminine energy. And you can list the ways that you do. One of the easiest ways is through dance, through movement, right? Through sensual dance and movement. If you're not there yet, start with yoga, right? Because it's just a flow, and I prefer flow yoga. And I'm actually going to be recording some of that for one of the courses that's going to become available later in the spring in Goddess University. So the essence of your pure receiving, your code of pure receiving is I receive because I exist. the reality that you get to receive for being you, that you already possess a frequency that allows you to receive. You are worthy of that. There is no qualifying that you need that you need to do. And I just got a really divine download. And I'm probably going to share this in one of the classes, but there is, you're worthy. You're worthy. And anything that keeps you outside of your feminine energy and outside of your magnetism is not something that you want to tolerate. It's not something that you want to continue to entertain. And utilizing access consciousness allows you to vibrate out of it without conflict, without regret, without the drama. Like, and I'm saying this because I have entertained a relationship avoiding drama, trying to keep a child of mine safe. And when I learned the access consciousness and then started living it, that situation was able to dissipate, because that was always my thing. Like, every time I could walk away, that wasn't the problem. The problem was the drama and the crazy that ensued after it. And I couldn't figure out how to navigate that, right? If I am the creator, right? I am the master manifester. I am co-creating my life. Why is there drama and fanfare when I am when I'm saying no to something? And the reason is because I was saying no to something, right? We live in an attraction-based universe. So what you focus on expands, and anything that you say no to, more of it comes to you. I was saying no to it. And then through access consciousnesses, which is what I teach in one-on-ones, I stopped saying no to it. I just started being infinite and looking at all the possibilities and living in the question. And when I started living in the question, it allowed room for it to dissipate without the fanfare and the drama and et cetera. So that's like a whole other side lesson. Okay. So back to the code of pure receiving. So the keywords are worthiness and feminine magnetism. Anything that is keeping you feeling unworthy, you have to eliminate it. Anything that takes you out of your feminine energy, you have to eliminate it. The essence of this code is I receive because I exist. Simply existing makes you worthy. Simply existing means that you have feminine magnetism despite, I don't know, what's been said, what is expected of you. Listen, I'm trying to get the right angle without showing all my boob in my lap and all the bookcase above my head. So this code unlocks the subconscious resistance to receiving. Most of the time, we are resistant to receiving because we think we're not worthy, right? Usually, and 99.9% of all manifestation and financial situations, money is not your problem. Receiving is your problem. And the biggest block to receiving is you feeling worthy. So money flows to women who are open, soft, and aligned, not hustling, chasing, and proving. Now, are there women out there hustling, proving, chasing, and getting money? Yes, I was one of them, right? I had a male aligned uh, business model, right? I was not an employee. I owned a business, but I ran my business with masculine energy, and I had money. and I was burnt out and I wasn't happy. And it just, life was not working for me because I was doing predominantly masculine energy. There has to be a synergy when you own a business, when you are doing things, whenever you're moving out, whenever you're getting shit done. Yes, that is masculine energy, but um, that is not the essence of who we are. We have feminine energy. Feminine energy is receptive energy, it's receiving energy. And so that's where you want to be. Okay. So the softer you are, the more open you are, the easier it is for you to align yourself with your natural flow of receiving. And you have to know that you're worthy of receiving naturally. And we're already okay. So I'm going to move through these and then I'm probably going to come back and do like little 30-minute talks on each code because otherwise I could talk forever. And this is supposed to be a 60-minute class. Okay, so um, you become a vessel of wealth when you say yes to receiving with ease and without guilt. That's what this code is. So now this code is about your ability to earn and about your worthiness. Okay. The code is with no spaces 37468581 37468581. You say this code 28 times to activate it. And then you can start using it. You can also get the PDF copy of Goddess Codes. And if you, let me see, where can you find it? Inside of Goddess University. At the bottom right hand, it'll take you to the websites and to my website, LaMeel.com. And you can order it there in the Goddess shop. Download it instantly. There's codes in there and there are rituals in there if you are completely new to this. Okay. So the mantra is I receive with grace. I allow myself to be supported by the universe. So this is code number 1. Code number 2 is the code of sacred yes. The key words are alignment, truth, and shifting. So the essence of the sacred code of yes, the sacred yes is the hell yes. And this ritual, this practice of sacred yes, and I call it sacred yes now. Years ago when I was teaching it, I called it the hell yes. Everything is either a hell yes or it is a hell no. There's no in between, right? So when people ask me, do you want to do something? If it's not a hell yes, now I do take into consideration my human design. And so I know I have to listen. And before I agree, I have to think it out, wait 24 hours and then give it to you. But in 24 hours, if it is still a hell yes for me, it's a hell yes. The sacred yes is that it lights me up. It turns me on. I'm tuned in. There is a genuine excitement about it and not a obligation behind it. Okay. So when I say yes to my soul, money responds. So when you say yes, it's a soul alignment, right? You're not saying yes because they need you. Yes, because you're the only person who they say you can do it. Yes, because you feel obligated. Yes, because somehow in the future it's going to benefit you. Yes, because of all of those things are no's. They're all no's. When you get into the sacred yes, that yes lights up your soul. And that's when you say yes. You start living in the sacred yes. So the code I'm giving you, the next code is for reality shifting. Because when you start saying only soul aligned yeses and everything is a hell no, there's a shift that starts to happen. So the code that you're going to use is 608 space 841 space 228. 608 space 841 space 228. Reality shifting. Again, we don't have time on this in this class to activate. So I strongly recommend that you either get the book or you join the Goddess Code movement, learn how to act all the different ways that you can activate it and how to use it. Okay, saying yes to your sacred assignments magnetizes your divine compensation. When you say yes to things that are soul aligned, money flows. So when your soul says, um, this is what you should be doing, and you follow it, money follows. Um, People show up, people pay you for things, people ask you for things. Like, mm, you don't have to hustle. And there's always going to be, if you activate, let me just say this. I'm going to give an analogy. So I'm a raw food chef, and I used to work with clients who were terminal or transitioning to raw food, right? Um, Raw food, meaning fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, sprouted grains, right? And people used to say if you were having a healing crisis because your body was detoxing, congratulations, it's going to be miserable. You're going to feel like shit, blah blah blah. But when you get to the other side, it's going to be amazing. And then we learned that if you have um, higher levels of fiber in your body, you do not experience a healing crisis, right? You're not crazy sick, throwing up. You don't have 3 days of hell getting to the other side of wellness because of the fiber. So when you start to, on this reality shifting of magnetizing and working in the frequency of abundance and wealth, right? Um, your paradigm starts to shake, and the people around you are upset and disturbed, and it starts to feel intense. What gets you through to the other side without the chaos and the huge impact of the backlash from the people around you are the goddess codes. The codes help you get to the frequency. So when you're tuned into the frequency, all of the chaos from the previous paradigm is beneath you, right? It can't touch you. You don't feel it. Okay. So the code is 608-841-228. Saying yes to your sacred assignment magnetizes your divine compensation. When you start getting into the reality shifting that you are a wealth magnet and you are worthy of wealth, things will start to be presented to you. And when you say, and you say soul aligned sacred yeses, because you're saying yes to things that speak to your soul, money shows up. People want to pay you for things that you love to do. You find ways to make money um, that you never considered before. This code aligns you with opportunities, aligned clients, divine timing, and overflow. So, no more saying yes to what drains you, only saying yes to what expands you. Okay. So the mantra that goes with this code is my sacred yes activates my divine wealth portal. And if you watch this all the way through, um, come back in 24 hours. And when I post it, I will post it with a worksheet, a PDF that has the codes and has all this information on it for you to be able to work with. So I'm not going to make it a whole book, but I will put together a small PDF of my notes so that you have them and you can start working with them. Code number 3 of 5. Okay. is the code of overflow. It's the code of overflow. And I love the code of overflow. And I used to use that in a mantra. I used to say it over and over again. There's old videos of me like, I live in the overflow. I am the overflow. I live in the overflow of love. I live in the overflow of gratitude. I live in the overflow of money. I live in the overflow of protection. I live in the overflow, right? The key words are abundance and expansion. And the essence of this is there's always more than enough. And so, although I don't use the overflow term anymore, now I say, I never have enough money, but I have more than I can spend, right? It's never enough, but more than I can spend. There's never enough, but more than I can spend. Why? Because I don't want to cap. I'm not capping my ability to receive and to have and to hold, but it's always more than I can spend. So I never run out. Okay. So your code activation is about unlimited money, right? It's unlimited, aligning with the concept that you can get into the frequency. I don't know why I'm getting congested. Of having unlimited money. It's unlimited. You can have as much as you want. Right now, I think the wealthiest woman in the world, maybe she's got like $38 billion, but the wealthiest man has like 300 and something $billion. But it's more than she could spend. And I'm sure she wants to accumulate more. It's never enough, but more than you could spend. It's beautiful. So this code heals the lack and scarcity program from your lineage and your past lives. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to save, you have to do this, all of those paradigms of lack and scarcity, right? Don't leave the light on, the bill will be too high. Like, you're not intentionally doing things, but you're running around, um, stealing ketchup from, not really stealing, but taking a lot of ketchup from a fast food place so you could squeeze it back into your ketchup bottle to save you $2. You come out of that, right? You come out of that. Here's a good example. I'm not wasteful, but one of the things I remember journaling about when I knew I was having a new paradigm shift, right? I had placed an order, I had moved and I placed an order, and it probably had like 5 or 6 things in it, and the whole fucking thing went to the old address. So I'm calling, seeing if somebody over there could pick it up. Can't remember the neighbor's number, can't remember their name, so I could find the number, like the whole thing. And I was like, and it's probably like a 30-minute drive. I was like, I just didn't fucking feel like going over there. I didn't want to. I called the carrier, can you reroute this package? They said no, blah, blah, blah. So I saw the picture when it got delivered, and I was like, I could go over there after rush hour, knock on the door. Hey, you got my shit, And then maybe they'd give it to me, maybe they wouldn't, maybe they'd be home, maybe they wouldn't, maybe it'd still be sitting on a porch. But maybe I could tell the carrier I didn't get it and I get a refund. Meanwhile, I was like, but I've already spent about 20 minutes on this, and I could be doing things that could be making me more money. And I have I'm okay. You know what I mean? I just went in and reordered everything to the right address and forgot all about it. Right. So at some point, I may actually go back and say, I did say, like, I didn't get it. And they were like, oh, give it a few days and we can get you a refund. So I'll probably get a refund. But even if I don't, it wasn't worth my time. Right. Um, my kids take my fucking phone chargers and wall blocks all the time. why argue over a $2, $5 wall block and cord when I could just order them bulk and have them with me all the time? Like the time and the energy that I was putting into, um, the fact that it was missing or it would have a short in it or whatever, because I'm one of those people where I keep a charger everywhere that I go, right? So I've started recording in here, so there's always a cord in here. There's one by my desk, there's one by my bed, there's one in the car, there's one in my purse, and there's one in the extra space in the trunk, my extra bin, right? That's just for my convenience. And I just recently put one in the kitchen, but I don't want them moved. But inevitably, I have 8 kids, and even my grandkids have charger things. And when we all get together, everybody comes in and they're all plugging in. And sometimes they leave with it, whatever. They're stop working, and my son comes and takes one in the middle of the night. And then I'm freaking out and having this whole chasing behind who took the cord when I could just go and open the drawer and pull out another one, right? But that's a paradigm shift for me as a single mom with 8 children who bought into the concept that I have to always be on a budget. I have to account for everything that I spend. I having multiple charges is kind of like a waste of money. I could put that money elsewhere, like, oh, everybody fuck off. Right? I'm not in that paradigm. I am in an overflow. And the reality is that I set up having these cords everywhere because I am in an overflow. I can afford it. It's okay. I can afford to buy more. It's going to be okay. And even if I use my last to buy more for my comfort because I am worthy, more money will come. That's the shift, right? I remember the shift. I remember the dialogue with myself and the motion changing. So, um, this overflow and this code puts you into unlimited money. There's always more than enough. So the code is 732000180. 732000180. Unlimited money. This code heals lack, scarcity programming from your lineage and your past lives, because we bring some of that bullshit with us. And ironically, most of us tend to come back with people that we have been here before. So they reinforce some of that trauma. It opens the energetic gates to surplus, to luxury and freedom, and to give and receive without limits, right? I was having a dialogue. I'm so glad this person is gone. I was having a dialogue with someone, and I was making them angry because at one point in my life, they helped me financially. But their relationship with money made it painful. They offered, they did it willingly, they didn't want it back in return, but it hurt them, right? But they were having a conversation with me about the philosophy and some principles I was teaching my kids, and it went against what they felt should be. And I didn't realize, like, oh, this is anger coming from a space of they helped me, and hearing how I feel about giving. Like when I give you money, it's gone forever. If it comes back, that's fucking amazing. But that's it, right? It's gone. Inevitably, we have been in many lives together. And this person probably energetically, spiritually loves me very, very much. And their role in this reality is to help me set better boundaries, to help me define, regardless of the intense influence, right? So the past lives, that stuff comes with us. Our lineage, also we tend to pick people that are like our parents. And so this person very much had a philosophy or ideology about money similar to my dad. And so I found that when I was with this person, I operated because there is a resonance that happens, right? If you haven't seen my video on TikTok, it's on TikTok now and YouTube, about me having the dream and asking um, myself that was in another reality why I was surrounded by low vibrational people. And she explained it to me and about the resonance, and then she told me what to do. And again, I did that. And that's when this particular relationship shifted because I really got into the access consciousness practice, and I'm free, looking free. So anyway, um, shit from our parents, shit from our grandparents. If you have grandparents who lived through the depression, they're gonna sell you a bunch of bullshit and what have you, right? Um, and if you take it on, it hinders your ability to attract and receive money. Okay, so this shifts you from survival to divine abundance. There are people in your life who are keeping you in the survival mode. They keep you in survival mode because they dysregulate you. Um, they're like a crab in a barrel. There's a million reasons why. So you need the frequency. Remember, the code is what helps you elevate your frequency when you start changing, when you start identifying these people and these situations, and it helps you build your courage to break out of the relationships, the dialogues, and the learned behaviors that are perpetuating you not having the financial freedom and abundance that you want to have. The mantra for the code of overflow is I live in overflow. I circulate wealth with ease and joy. It is a circulation. Being in overflow means I spend it and it comes back, and I spend it and it comes back, and I spend it and it comes back, right? It's an overflow. Okay, so 4, it's the code of frequency first. So the key words are vibration and energetic mastery. The essence of it is I become the frequency of wealth before the money arrives. So you have to be at the frequency before the money actually shows up, right? Manifestations don't come from strategy, they come from embodying frequency. So you can know the steps, and you can, if you've ever done like the 369 method, if you've ever done manifestation methods that don't work for you, it's because you're going through the motion or the strategy without the embodiment. You're not aligning with the frequency. So sometimes you're doing the work, but mentally and on a frequency level, you're not matching what you want, which is why some people can manifest things or situations and not money. It's a frequency thing. So this code, the code of frequency first, puts you into the frequency of wealth and abundance. This is about success in life in general on all levels. So the code, very simple. This is our shortest one, is 2190. Okay, manifestation doesn't come from strategy. It comes from the embodiment of the frequency that you are trying to manifest. So this code reminds you to feel, to move, to speak, and decide like the wealthy woman that you are. That's the embodiment. So that so if I say I want to sell 1,000,000 books, I need to do the things that people who sell 1,000,000 books do. But before I can do it, right? If I just do it without feeling it, it's not going to happen. I have to feel the sale of 1,000,000 books, and then take the actual action, and then I will sell 1,000,000 books. Okay. You're the signal, and the wealth is responding. So you're the radio dial. And when you dial into wealth, the money comes. The mantra is my frequency is my fortune. I calibrate to wealth daily. So, being that this is about your frequency and how you are feeling that frequency, right? You have to, before it becomes a part of you, before it is, um, what's the word? Second nature, like tying a shoe, riding a bike, driving a car, right? Before it is that, before it is unconscious competence, before it becomes, before receiving and activating and living in the frequency of wealth becomes your unconscious uh, competence, you have to practice it, right? That's how you get to it being an unconscious competent, becoming unconscious competent in it. So every day, all day, regardless of what's coming up, you shift back to that frequency. Okay. Um, you wake up, somebody pisses you off, somebody says some really weird, crazy shit, you have to go back to the frequency. You keep practicing. Every time when you were a kid, you put your shoes on, you had to practice tying. Sometimes you weren't going anywhere, and your parents just made you practice tying the shoe, whether it was on you or not. You just kept practicing. So you have to keep shifting, and you have to keep shifting and bringing yourself back to the frequency of wealth, abundance, and overflow until you're still there, until you can hold it longer and longer and longer. And the longer you can hold it, that's when the materialization starts to happen, right? The materialization starts to come in because you're able to hold the frequency long enough for it to materialize. Now, the first sign of materialization is how you feel. So when you get into the feeling frequency, which I hope you did at the beginning of this, right? That was the sign that what you want was starting to materialize. Now, how long you're able to hold that will determine how quickly your manifestation shows up. So we're going to go into code number 5, which is the code of divine circulation, because you have to circulate money. You know, the divine circulation is sort of the divine way of saying, scared money don't make money. You can't hold on to it and not share your wealth and expect for it to multiply, right? So money flows where love leads is the essence of that. The money flows where love leads. So this goes back to that individual I was having the conversation about. When I give money, it is from a place of love. And I used to give money, because I really just wanted to help people. And yes, I wanted to help them, but also um, I cared about how they spent the money, right? And that was part of the dialogue. Like when you give it, you have to give it. You can't say, I'm going to give it to you. And if you're feeling like, well, I'm going to give it to you, but in 6 months, you're still going to have a financial problem. Well, if you have a problem with that, don't give it. You're not giving out of love. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Right? Because when you give it, it belongs to them, and how they use it, for better or worse, it is on them, for them. You're out of it. It's not your money. It's not that they did something with your money. They were reckless with your money. They didn't do what they were supposed to do with your money. When you gave it to them, it became their money, period. Right? So, um, money flows where love leads. Um, Wealth responds to circulation and not hoarding. Okay, so this code opens the channel of giving and receiving as a sacred loop. So when I give you 10, I know I'm going to get 100. If I give you 40, I know I'm going to get 120. You know what I'm saying? You no longer fear spending and you don't fear investing. You do it from the sacred yes. You must trust that money multiplies when moved with love and purpose. So, um, this also leads back to an energy exercise that I teach. When you, if you've ever seen people use a pendulum, you can learn and calibrate your body to be the pendulum. So your body knows everything. Everything has a frequency, everything has energy, and you need to, and if you're living in the question, then as you're doing things, you're asking source, universe, and the thing the right questions to get the right answers, to know where to put your money, when to put your money, how to put your money. And you trust the process, and it goes, it multiplies, and it comes back. And then you spend a portion of that, and it goes and it multiplies and it comes back. And you spend a portion of that and it goes. And so you're literally getting everything that you want, and your money is multiplying. Okay. This is the code that turns purpose into profit and generosity into gold. I love that. So the mantra is, I circulate money with love. I am the source and the flow. So money is a living frequency that responds to alignment, not effort. So a really crappy person, in my opinion, like Trump, right? And the truth is, his alignment is not clear, but he has a certain alignment that does put him in places and circumstances and situations to where even if he loses money, money comes back. He's always in proximity to money. His inability to hold on to money is because his frequency is off, right? Elon Musk, I don't care for him personally, from what I know, but um, he holds the frequency of money. How he feels about other people, um, how he cares about the environment, what he thinks and feels about others is irrelevant. He has the ability to hold the frequency of having more money than anybody else. And he does. That is why he does, because he has the ability to unapologetically hold the frequency of having more money than anybody else. And it's crystal clear. Trump has the ability to hold the frequency of appearing to be in charge and being in proximity to power. And even when he says, these people are dumb, they'll believe whatever I say, he believes that. He holds that frequency. And even though they got him on camera saying it, those very same people believe everything he says, right? He is creating his reality. Now, here's the kicker about reality and how it works is that he can live in his own reality and you can live in yours and not be affected by his. Okay, but that's for another class. So, I wanted to share with you some examples of energetic shifts that created financial overflow um, in my life. So, I shared with you um, some examples specific to those codes. But one of those examples about the energetic shifts and how money started to flow was me realizing that I did not have to chase these packages, right? Just buy more. Another shift was I don't have to fight my kids over cords and wall blocks. Buy more. Um, Small shifts. I decided I was worthy of certain food brands. So a lot of times, um, when I was ready to shift back into high frequency eating, right? I call it high vibrational foods. Um, I was feeding a lot of kids. And so I would not get what I wanted because I wanted to make sure that I had the things that I know the kids liked and wanted to eat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm feeding a lot of people. So I bought into it was so expensive to feed us right, whatever, whatever. When I said, fuck it, we'll eat less, but we'll eat better. And my health, this is how I hold I'm the Matreon. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm holding my health is dependent on whether or not these kids get to school, whether they eat, whether they have a place to live. And so I made the shift. I will have X, Y, and Z. I will buy this for me. I will have my own refrigerator with these things in it because I do not want to get up in the morning and go and not have the yogurt that I want to eat. And yes, I can find something comparable that may um, be a little less expensive so I could buy more of it for my children, but I don't like that brand. So I don't buy that brand. But when I made the decision, the money showed up for me to always have that. And the rest of the family never felt the strain, right? When I shifted to mushroom infused coffees, they're like $35 a box, right? For like 20 pods from, you know, 15, $15, $10, sometimes even less a box. It was like, I enjoy coffee. I enjoy that warm cup. I don't always want just cacao. And at the same time, I want something that's healthy and something that is giving me the things that I need. And you probably have seen the videos where I do put in a blend of adaptogens into my coffee, but the coffee that I buy is a mushroom based coffee. And when I shifted to buying that coffee, thinking that it's so expensive, it's not. I have multiple boxes now. It is not a big thing. It is standard grocery item. Manuka honey, right? I think Manuka honey might be $40 for a bottle. But I make sure that we always have at least one, but most of the time we have two. Now, whether I order it from Amazon or get it from Costco, it doesn't matter. Um, it's a standard part of our groceries because I made the shift. I'm sharing with you, these are smaller things, right? They're not like houses and cars and stuff because you start where you are. But those are the things that I started with and shifting because they did make a financial impact, right? You can get honey for $3 or something like honey for $3, and I'm spending $40 on it. I can get coffee for $5 and I spend about $35, $40 on it. So, and in each of those scenarios now, I don't just buy one, I have at least two at all times. So I don't run out, right? Um, I shifted to ordering very specific water. So my case of water cost about $40 a case. When I made the shift, I was scared, right? I had the belief that there wasn't enough. And in fact, there's plenty. And I get what I want because I'm worthy. And I would rather say yes to what is best than um, accept crap for me and my kids. Now, do my kids, all the kids have the same things? No. Some of my older kids, my oldest daughter partakes in a lot of the same things I do. I make sure my younger son, my youngest daughter, they have access, but they also have alternatives, right? So the best next thing I do have because they consume way more than I do, but I always have what I need because I love them, but I love me more. I had to put my health above all because if I don't have the things that I need and I am not at my highest frequency, it impacts their it impacts their life, right? And their quality of life. So I am literally 1 minute away. And we've got um, and I've got a couple more things. So this is gonna run over about 30 minutes. But the key here, right, is that you don't have to chase money. You have to tune into money, right? Um, you call money into you with your frequency. You hold it by becoming the vibrational match to it, right? So you get to the frequency, hold the frequency, the money comes, the money stays. All right. Um, so there's a wealth activation ritual that I'm going to guide you through. And I'm going to read it through. And if you're watching, you can close your eyes. We're going to go back to that box breathing. Hold, hold, hold. Okay. So you're going to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize. And this is always easier if you can't see me. So I want you to visualize yourself with the financial abundance that you currently desire. What does that look like? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you wearing? What does the room look like? Who are the people that are there with you? What is the conversation that you're having? Now, this is the most important part. Tune in to how you feel. How does it feel? How do you feel? Where in your body can you feel it? Magnify that feeling. And from that feeling place, I want you to speak aloud your wealth I am identity, meaning I am a millionaire. I am a successful entrepreneur making $50,000 a month. I am a new homeowner. I am featured in local newspapers and magazines. I am the most sought after public speaker in my niche, whatever that is. Speak your I am identity. And now I want you to repeat after me. I am the source of wealth. I receive, circulate, and expand money with divine ease. One more deep, deep breath. Okay. So we're going to come back. Now, I just want to make sure that when we're talking about divine circulation, that I gave you all the information, right? So money, divine, the last code is the divine the code of divine circulation. So the key is flow and sacred exchange. The essence is money flows where love leads. And the activation codes, there's two. There's 1122 and there's 5701. Okay. Um, and the mantra is I circulate money with love. I am the source and the flow. So I wanted to make sure I didn't overtalk and didn't give you guys that. So I want to talk about a little bit now about energetic clearing and manifestation techniques. So energetic clearing, energetic clearing. Okay. This is about releasing inherent money blocks, uh, unintentional vows of poverty, scarcity contracts from past lives, and even this life. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of really quick um, practices that you can do. So when I was talking about how I shifted into buying different things that were more expensive and better for me, um, one thing that can help you with that, we have something called uh, a money sugar and a protection salt. So if all you do, right, and you want to just elevate your food and you want to keep the frequency with you at all times and you want to be able to incorporate it like when you're eating and make it effortless for you to practice incorporating money sugar, which I use in my coffee and I use in my tea. I actually I haven't released it yet, but we also have a money honey because I use more honey than tea. I mean than sugar, but it's an organic um, raw cane sugar is the base, and it is infused with it's charged by crystals, and it's infused with herbs that carry the frequency of money. And then when it is done, it is then charged on a crystal stone that then vibrates at the frequency of financial wealth, abundance, and overflow. All right, so that's a way to take in something that helps keep you at the frequency while you practice your codes, right? You can set up a prosperity altar or a wealth altar, and you can um, put things on there that represent whatever your current intention or goal is for your next level of wealth. Okay, so creating an altar is great. The key is put a picture of yourself on it. Okay, so then you can put crystals on there. You can put pictures of the car you want, the business you want. I would put a picture of myself. I would put a rose quartz crystal because I want my money to come with love. I love working with citrine, which is a wealth crystal. I would put selenite because selenite clears and protects. And uh, what else? I would do love. I would do citrine for the money. I would do selenite for protection, right? So those are the basic ones. Oh, and I'd do a quartz, right? And the quartz I would charge that one with the specific thing. Like I want to make $50,000 a year. And so that one would be charged with that, but also so with the citrine, right? But the quartz would charge it. So it just depends on if you know how to deal with crystals. Otherwise, I would decorate that. I would keep fresh flowers. I'd make a money bowl and I would, put my change in it. I love $2 bills, $100 bills. So I would, when I had $100, I'd put $100 in there. If all I have was, a little bit of money, I would take them to the bank and get $2 bills. And then I would create the gratitude cycle. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would write it on the bills. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I would light candles, right? Beautiful smelling candles that put you in the mood, right? Or in the energy of what it is that you're trying to manifest, right? So if you maybe have to spend a little bit more money on those candles and not just like a 7-day candle, but if all you have is a 7-day candle, then start there. Make it a color that makes you feel good, that you associate with what it is that you are um, raising your frequency towards. Okay. I have a beautiful iconic oil that I would anoint my candles and my crystals with. I would use it on my hands, and you can get it at the Luxem Light Apothecary. I would smell that. I would encourage you to use it as a body oil, as a base under your perfume. So, because it is designed to raise your frequency, your financial frequency, it is designed to make you iconic and attractive and put you in that feminine energy. So, a money jar, prayer jar. You could even do a gratitude jar on that altar. So every day, write something that you are grateful for, right? It's going to maintain the energy, it's going to help you um, elevate your frequency. So I would then take my codes and I would put a journal on that altar. I would write my codes every day, or I would write the codes. Um, I would definitely write the codes on my body. I would put the codes under my pillow or under my bed, and I would put those codes on my altar. Um, and soon I will be sharing the cover of the Goddess Code book. And that is a sigil that everyone can use to, once you activate it, you can use it to activate all of your desires. And the book is so powerful because it shows you how to use the codes within that sigil to magnify it. And then you can add oils and you can add candles and you can add crystals, and it's just beautiful. But start where you are. Okay. So the other thing that helps, because you want to get in the receptive mode and in the feminine frequency, is the feminine wealth embodiment practice. So the one thing that I want you to take from this particular training, because that could be a whole training in and of itself, is somatic movement. So you want to move your body for at least 3 minutes a day to anchor in your new identity. Okay. So you want to dance or just find sonomic workouts that you can do to music for the length of one song. Do that every day and chant to yourself: I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am a woman, I receive. I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am a woman, I receive. I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am a woman, I receive. While you do your dance, right? And if you can do sensual dance or free flow dance to music that moves your soul, 3 minutes a day, and use the chant: I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am woman, I receive. Right? You want to get into the feeling, and then you want to look like her, you want to move like her, you want to think like her, because you are her. Her is the person who already has the level of wealth and attraction that you currently desire. So while you're in your dance and you are chanting, you are going to be moving and thinking that I look like her, I move like her, I think like her, okay? Because you are her. You are becoming her 100%. So I am going to now um, invite you. We're at the close, and I want to invite you to journal. So, what came through for me today? When we end this, I want you to journal what came through for me today. What stood out for you? What made a difference for you? I am going to make my notes available because I could not have gotten, I channeled all of this and I had to write it out. Um, so I know it's a lot, but so I'm going to make that a PDF and it'll be available. I won't say tomorrow, but at least over the weekend. Okay. So, but what came through for you today? What caused you? What touched you? What resonated with you? Journal that out. Journal it out, and um, allow yourself to expand. Right? What came through for you? What resonated with you? What do you think you want to do, and how do you want to work with that moving forward? So, in the next 24 hours, I really want to invite you to get out in nature, regardless of the weather. Take a walk by yourself. Use one of the mantras. Um, we went through five um, different activations. So you could even take a walk every day for 5 days, chanting one of the um, mantras, okay, that go with a code. That's another way to really get it embedded in you. You can also take those walks or dance or chant just the code. All right. So when I say dance or chant the code, let me give you an example. So our last code, the code of divine circulation. So 2211. You could just go on a 3 to 5 minute walk and just chant 2211. Or I'm sorry, 1122. 1122, 1122, 1122, 1122, 1122. Put on instrumental music and chant 1122, 1122, 1122 while you dance, right? So something along that line. Um, you can also take a bath. So I like to write on parchment paper my codes, put them in the bath with oils. So my iconic oil and some powdered honey, milk, herbs, and I simply chant my code in the tub. And I allow myself, because basically, when you put the codes in the water is then charged with the codes. And now you are in there. You are mostly water. And if you stay in there at least 30 minutes, you can add some salts, magnesium flakes, things like that. And now your body, your physical body, is going to resonate with the frequency of the water. And the water has taken on the frequency of the code, right? And you can meditate on the code. So, the moment that you choose to embody the frequency of whatever it is that you want, the universe responds. The universe responds the moment that you choose to embody the frequency. Wealth is not coming to you because, see, that implies that you are separate and you lack it. So, it keeps you in the lacking. We live in an attraction based universe. So it's not coming to you, it's already here. You are simply aligning with it. That's all you're doing. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them community anywhere. Be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for stopping in, for listening, for joining. I've gone over about 20 minutes, so I don't have a whole lot of time for Q&A here. However, you can leave questions at the end of the video and I will answer all of them for you. Enjoy your evening and I'll see you. I'll be back here live Friday for our reset and the